We are here. Chat. We're here live in the flesh. We got the soundboard. Can you guys hear the soundboard? Did you guys miss the intro? Chat, how we doing? I hope everyone hears the soundboard. The soundboard should be working. Comment down below, guys. Can you hear the soundboard? Did you see the intro? And also, chat, how are we doing, guys? We're back. I know you guys have been waiting and been begging so much for the soundboard to come back. Well, guess what? It's back. It's back. Vincent, I hope you enjoyed the intro. I know you've been begging and begging for the intro to come back. Unfortunately, we play the intro at the introduction of the stream. So everyone who joins the stream, later, they're not going to know unless I play the intro again, right? See, that's the perks of joining as soon as the stream starts. You see the intro again. But guys, how are we doing? I hope everyone's here. Or I hope everyone here is having a wonderful morning, day, or night, wherever you guys are. We will be going over the 1151 long summary spoilers. Now, chat, let me know. Can you guys hear? Question number 1, can you hear the soundboard? And question number 2, is the soundboard good audio? Like, is it too loud? Is it too quiet? Just let me know, chat. Excuse me. Let me know if the soundboard is too loud or too quiet. I'll turn it up or turn it down, okay? You've been making those noises with your mouth for weeks. Yeah, I finally have it figured out. We also do have a new sound. We got a new sound for the people that you got to go above and beyond for this one, okay? Soundy board is back. You guys got to go above and beyond to get this sound. I haven't figured out like what exactly will constitute this sound, but this is the sound, okay?
This guy brought a nuke into the building.
That's going to be for people that just somehow go above and beyond, because we didn't use that one before. I like it. So we got that. We got the cheering.
This guy brought a nuke into the...
We got that one. We got the classic horn. We got the Dune. Then we got the Illuminati. Then we got the Helma. Then we got the A. From Zeus. If you guys know that meme, that clip from Zeus, we got that one. I could add like a lot more, but yeah, chat. I hope everyone's having a beautiful morning, day, or night, wherever you guys are. Guys, I'm excited to get into the long summary. I have not read the long summary, and I did look at some of the Raws, but I did not exactly, really analyze the Raws. I wasn't really looking at, all the pages and stuff like that. I saw some of them, like, actually looking at RBBP. We're back. I did look at some of the panels, some of the pages, like Killingham. I know what Killingham looks like. He looks pretty cool. I'm not going to lie. Shout out to that boy, Killingham. That boy killing chat. We're going to have to spam the soundboard because it's been months without the soundboard, chat. It's literally been like months without the soundboard. Everybody couldn't wait for the soundboard to make its return, but it has made its return. Thank you guys for being so patient. RBBP, God bless you, brother. One Piece TCG. What's going on, man? God bless. He said, I'm good, bro. I just finished my data science analytics. I myself was thinking about getting into data analytics, like data analysis stuff, like, the data analysis career field. I haven't exactly, decided on it and went down that road, but I was thinking about that. Inference and machine learning, SQL, or I guess SQL, is that? I forgot what that is or what that stands for. SQL. Is it sequence? I forgot. SQL certificates. I'm so ready to leave my dead end job for a big boy job. I feel like your prayers have helped, of course. Hey, One Piece TCG memes. I'm glad to see that you're getting some help, your prayers are being answered. Just keep working hard if you can. Of course, always, pray to God, pray to Jesus Christ. But also don't be afraid to reach out to the communion of saints. The people that have came before us, that have finished the race, that are now in heaven alive, delivering prayers to God. They can hear us. So, try to reach out to the saints, reach out to people like, of course, Saint Joseph, the blessed spouse of our ever Virgin Mother Mary. Joseph was leading the household, providing for his family. He was the head of the house when Jesus was a young little boy, a young baby. Reach out to other, saints that, maybe they're a bit more studious and stuff like that, because I know with, data science analytics and machine learning, that requires like a lot of brain power. So, ask for the intercession of people like, St. Thomas Aquinas, St. Augustine, people like that. We have a whole communion of saints that are here. We're a family. We're all together. Nika, how's it going, Tay? God bless, brother. Anthony, God bless, man. How you guys doing, chat? We got Nika. We got the one and only RBBP. We got Nika. We got Anthony. We got the one and only Dawn of Ascension. We got Michael. We got Vincent. We got Animated Lunch Table. We got Karu. God bless, Karu. How you doing, brother? Apu. Eric, God bless everybody. This man said, Mijo, where you at? Why are you calling him that? This man's calling El Mijo. That's actually hilarious. But chat, is everyone ready to get into the spoilers? Are you guys ready? Without further ado, should we get into the spoilers? Oh, guys, before we get into the long summary, which of course, guys, we're going to be talking all about 1141. But before we get into that, I do have four quick announcements to make for anyone that's just joining. One, the soundboard is back. 2, the intro is back. 3, guys, I'm looking for more YouTube moderators, okay? The YouTube moderators, I'm looking for YouTube moderators, and what your duty will be is to help me. There should be a button on YouTube while you guys watch. Help clip out or highlight sections of the stream that can be converted into a YouTube video. This is something that I feel like I should have done a long time ago, because you guys know that during the streams, I will go on a tangent and I'll explain like a whole theory. I'll give a whole breakdown about something. And I personally feel like a lot of the time it could be translated into a YouTube video. So I'm looking for YouTube moderators that are consistent, that are always showing up to the streams, that can help clip out parts of the stream or highlight parts of the stream. That way I can convert it into a YouTube video. Now, if I'm not mistaken, when you guys watch the stream, there should be a button on YouTube that lets you clip or highlight. Or if you guys, have some extra free time, what you guys could do is like get timestamps, when the stream's over, and then send me or a mod the timestamps of what you think would be good for a video. Then we just convert that part of the stream into a video. Because I know on these streams, I do a lot of breakdowns. I do a lot of theories and stuff like that. It could be useful to turn into a video, because a lot of the time people don't watch the full 2, 3, 4, 5 hour long streams. So we could get parts of the stream and convert it into videos. Shout out to Nika. It says create clip. Exactly. So if you guys are watching the stream, hit the create clip button. Do it for segments that are probably longer than 3 minutes. I feel like 2 minutes might be a little too short, but if it's 5-10 minutes, that would actually be great. Okay. And then the fourth and final announcement before we get into the spoilers. L, God bless you, brother. The fourth and final announcement, guys, is there is a break after this chapter. There's a break next week, but we're going to have a stream of open mic. We've done this before multiple times. We're going to have an open mic stream where anybody that watches the stream can come into a call with me and speak their hot take their theory, their concern, ask me questions. We're going to have an open mic for stream next week. We're going to have a whole stream for that. The way that you guys are going to go about speaking to me on stream, the way you guys are going to go about joining the open mic is very simple. If you guys go to the video description of the stream, go to the stream description, and you open the description, you're going to see a link towards the bottom to StreamYard. I want you guys to go to that StreamYard link and just sign up with your Gmail account. That's all you got to do. It's completely free. You're not going to get hacked. StreamYard is a safe website. I know a lot of creators that use it. Just sign up. It's free. Just sign up. Then when we have the open mic stream, you guys will be able to hop into the StreamYard link of that stream. And then you guys are going to be able to talk to me on stream. It's going to be a lot better than using Discord, okay? Rashad, God bless, brother. How you doing, Rashad? Rhythm, God bless, brother. Hello, bro. What are your opinions on Elbaf till now and everything that's in it? I think Elbaf is a phenomenal arc. I think the arc has been going great. Of course, there's a few chapters of Elbaf that might not be the most mind-blowing chapter of all time, but that's how arcs go. You're not going to find a single arc in One Piece where every single chapter is just making your head explode. And you can't even count, you can't really even count the Reverie as like an arc, really. I mean, like, technically speaking, I guess Oda might constitute the Reverie as an arc. But let's be real. No one really treats the Reverie as an arc. Okay? So are you guys ready? Viswa. Guys, and one more announcement. I promise, one more announcement and we'll start this stream. Okay, chat? We got one more announcement. Okay? One more, and I promise we're going to do the prayer and get into the long summary, okay? One more. By the way, guys, share the stream, guys. One more. Post a stream on Discord, Twitter, Instagram. Spread this stream, chat. We're growing the community. But, guys, I want to give a big congratulations to a new moderator that we have in this community, and he goes by the name of Viswa. All right? Shout out to Viswa, guys. He finally made it. He's finally squad. Can we get some Weezwas in the chat? Weezwa. Let's get some Weezwas in the chat. He's been supporting the channel for around, 2 years now. He's a great guy. He's never really being toxic. Shout out to Viswa, guys. Big shout out to the boy. New mod on the block. All right. And without further ado, it is time to begin our prayer and get into the spoilers chat. All right. It is time to get into our prayer and hop into the new spoilers. All right. Let's begin. In the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. I believe in one God, the Father Almighty, maker of heaven and earth, of all things visible and invisible. I believe in one Lord, Jesus Christ, the only begotten Son of God, born of the Father before all ages, God from God, light from light, true God from true God, begotten, not made, consubstantial with the Father. Through him all things are made. For us men and for our salvation, he came down from heaven, and by the Holy Spirit was born incarnate of the Virgin Mary and became man. For our sake, he was crucified under Pontius Pilate. He suffered death and was buried and rose again on the third day in accordance with the scriptures. He ascended into heaven and is seated at the right hand of the Father. He will come again in glory to judge the living and the dead, and his kingdom will have no end. I believe in the Holy Spirit, the Lord, the giver of life, who proceeds from the Father and the Son, who with the Father and the Son is adored and is glorified, who has spoken through the prophets. I believe in one holy Catholic and apostolic church. I confess one baptism for the forgiveness of sins, and I look forward to the resurrection of the dead and the world to come. Amen. Lord Jesus Christ, the only begotten Son of God, I adore you above all things. Christ, I adore you and love you and glorify you above all things. Lord Jesus Christ, all that's in my possessions is completely yours. Lord Jesus Christ, let my heart be yours. Let my soul be yours. Let my energy and every ounce of my being be yours. Let my YouTube streaming community be yours. Let all my social media networks be yours. Let my dreams be yours. Let everything, my family, my household, let everything that might be tied to me in any way, shape, or form be yours. You are the king. You are the leader. You are the pilot of my life. You are the pilot of my soul. I must confess without any excuse of my own, I have sinned in my thoughts and my words and what I have done and what I have failed to do through my faults, through my most grievous faults. With no excuse, I seek your mercy. I beg and I plead for your forgiveness, Lord. I do not wish to feel the fires of hell, and I do desire and I ever so yearn for the beatific vision in heaven, your kingdom, but above all else, Christ Jesus, I detest my sins because they are an offense to you, O Lord, who sacrificed himself on the cross out of love. The image of the invisible God, he made himself known through the faculties of a man who took on human flesh and landed in our human timeline and walked this earth. You paid the price for us out of love. You are the loving God. You are our spiritual Father. You are the one we seek, the one we desire, the only thing that can fill the void within our mind, body, and souls. Christ Jesus, we yearn for you. We know and we truly believe that you are ever present in the Eucharist, body, blood, soul, and divinity. And this is what we seek every Mass, Christ Jesus. So I ask that you cast your perpetual light onto our mind, body, and souls so that we can clearly see the desire the path that you desire for us. Cast that perpetual light so the darkness is completely wasted away, so we can see the path you desire for us laid out in front of us. Help us establish our steps so that we may rise, bearing our cross and bear our cross, walking that path, all for your glory, Christ Jesus. Protect my tongue. Make my voice pleasing to the ears of many. Keep my tongue away from error. Keep my heart and my mouth and my mind away from anger and revenge and envy and jealousy. And do not let me get puffed up. Lord, keep me humble. Keep me filled with humility. Anytime that I get prideful, anytime that I get ahead of myself, Lord, I want you to stomp on it, completely crush and destroy my pride, Lord. I need to live with humility. Please keep me away from any of that. Keep my tongue and my mind away from the traps and the snares of the devil, from the accuser. Keep me in your safety. Keep me in your stronghold, my rock, my refuge, my deliverer. And finally, Lord, I send my spirit and soul up to you eternally, because there's no one else I'd rather be with. Glory be to the Father, and to the Son, and to the Holy Spirit. Amen. And now it's time. Now it's time to get into that 141. That 141. God bless you, Splashy. No, Carjog. You always got another opportunity. God bless you, Carjog. Stay strong, man. SL and Amuni. God bless you too. How you guys doing, guys? It's time. Hey, Amuni. How's the child, man? How's your wife? How's your girl, brother? SL, how we doing, man? How we doing, SL? We gotta get that open mic going. Next week we're gonna have that open mic live stream chat. We got the stream deck back. We have the sound alerts back. We have the intro back. For those of you, I don't want to keep delaying the spoilers, but do you guys want me to run the intro back one more time? See, I wish you guys got into the stream sooner so you guys could have, sat through the intro. Yeah, we're so back. We are so back. Jordan, we're so back, brother. Chatsu, it's been a while, man. How you been? Welcome back, brother. God bless. Lethal Shooter chapter, definitely Usab Glaze. Wingway. Hey, I think you're going to feel that type of way for anything. Whether it's Robin, Nami, Loki, Zoro, Emu, I think you're going to feel these motions. You're going to be dealing with the passions of lust regarding most things, King J. I would say that you And you and Pokemon Red, you and Eli are no different from each other. You guys are just the same person, except Indian. One's American, right, from Texas, and the other one's Indian. I didn't mean that in any kind of way. I mean, like, you're from India, but like you two are basically the same person. Well, I mean, Eli can't cook as hard as King J. You know, no one's on that King J level, to be fair. But you both are the same. The only difference is the race. Now, when people say out of pocket stuff, you can hit them with the soundboard. Yeah, exactly. Donna Vera, welcome back. God bless. Hikikomori. Hey, who's at work right now? Who's at work? Is it only SL? Is SL the only one at work? All right, guys, enough with the delay. Let's begin with the long summary spoilers. Chapter 1151, I Get It Now, which is pretty similar to the original chapter title that they put in the spoilers, right? It was I Understand Now, but in this case, they put I Get It Now, which is close enough. It's basically the same thing, right? Ogre Child Yamato's Golden Harvest Surrogate Pilgrimage, Volume 35, Sumo Tournament in Hakumai. Sukune, the Yokozuna, Urashima's brother, is thrown away. Now, I mean, there's literally nothing to say here. I cannot believe this cover story is on Volume 35 and nothing has happened. Chad, I know you hate to hear someone bash something in One Piece because apparently everything in One Piece needs to be praised. But hey, you know what? I'm gonna go against the grain. This cover story is not very interesting. Perhaps I'm forgetting or I'm missing something that should be making this cover story significant. And I'm not absorbing it, but this cover story is not very interesting. I mean, there's nothing to say about it, and it's just, I don't know, man. I really don't know. Sway, God bless you, brother. Yeah, it's not that interesting. I don't really know what to say. I mean, Oda might be able to save it. I don't know. But, like, let's say hypothetically, you know, we've been saying that the Blackbeard Pirates are going to roll into Wano, right? Through Caribou's info. We've talked a lot about that, right? Did it really take 35 volumes to reach that point? I don't really know, man. Moving on, we see Killingham is using his hybrid form. He's now a centaur with the upper body of a human and the lower body of a Keating. And he still has the white clouds floating around his head and body. Keatingham human form has short hair, long lower lashes, and sharp teeth. He looks a bit like Hody Jones's face. He also holds a horn with which he commands the MMA. Now, I know some of you guys were asking what the MMA is. Someone actually sent me the Japanese Raws, I think of 1150, asking what the MMA is. Now, chat, when they refer to the MMA or when they say MMA, they're referring to the demonic monsters, the nightmare monsters that the Holy Knights managed to, spawn in. But the question is what does MMA actually stand for? I don't know what it stands for. I only know what it references. You know, because some people might say that, like, MMA stands for mixed martial arts, but I don't really see how that has anything to do with the giants or the nightmare monsters. So if anyone knows what the acronym of MMA stands for, please let me know. I actually have no idea. MMA sounds so funny to say for it. I mean, I don't know. I'm just confused when I hear it. Being called Miho while I'm heading inside my job's office is diabolical. Yeah, this man RBP said at L, where you at, Miho? Memory monster animation. Let me cook. Yo, we got Goda in the chat. No way. Goda, I must say, this cover story has to go, man.
Oh my God.
It's just, it's not interesting, bro. 34 volumes of this, literally nothing is happening. Like, you could argue, oh, well, the whole swords were stolen, people were disappearing. Like, okay, so you gotta fix this. And I don't even know what you could do. Because if you introduce something crazy into the cover story, people could easily say, why didn't you do that sooner? So it has to be something crazy, something interesting into the cover story that makes it make sense as to why it took 35 volumes to reach this point. All right, Oda? All right, Goda? I defended you in Wano. Kind of. I defend you in Dressrosa. I definitely defend you when it comes to Fishman Island. No one defends Fishman Island like me and Dawn of Ascension. Me and Dawn of Ascension are probably the biggest advocates for Fishman Island. I would literally argue Fishman Island is one of the greatest arcs in the entire story. Hands down. Thank you, Goda. God bless. Ewok, God bless. All right, let's continue, guys. Kiddingham says, now things are heating up. And I am not pulling any more punches because the Great One is here. Which, by the way, when the Holy Knights say Great One, that's actually a Japanese word or phrase that Oda hasn't really used within the entirety of One Piece. Now, within chapters 1050 and 1051, we're actually seeing the Holy Knights refer to Imu with this like newfound title of Great One, which again just shows their allegiance to Imu. It's no longer an opinion or a theory that the Holy Knights know Imu and worship Imu. All right. I can actually show you guys right here what I'm referring to. So if you guys look right here, Sandman made a tweet. He said, lost in translation, the Holy Knights call Imu Ontai, a term that's never been used before in the 28 years of One Piece. Ontai is a special word used for someone so mighty and distant that you can't help but feel both respect and affection. It suits Imu perfectly. Okay, you can see right here, Keatingham says, not at all, my lord, but then it's actually Ontai. And then, of course, when Summers says, my lord as well, they're actually saying the Japanese Ontai. So it is something to know. Fun fact. Continue to rampage as you like, MMA. These monsters are created by you guys, people of Elbaf. Emu/Gunko says they will keep doing this until Elbaf's heart is completely broken. Now, this is just demonic. This is just sad. This is just twisted. They're going to basically wreck and torture Elbaf until Elbaf no longer has heart to defend itself. This is pure evil that we're seeing from the Gorosei, but are we really surprised? If Imu has ties to Christianity's Lucifer or Satan or Antichrist, should this really surprise you that the Gorosei embody evil? No, it shouldn't. Pseudo emo don't play around. Yeah, I mean, it really when we're talking about the dialogue coming out of Gunko, it's basically just emu. But when we're talking about combat wise and power wise, I guess it's pseudo emu, it's nerfed emu, it's buffed Gunko, it's proto emu. I don't know. Hey, bro, why you doing like Internet Explorer? The chapter comes out later. We had a full summary yesterday. Well, technically, the full summary was at 4 a.m. for me. I wasn't going to go live at 4 a.m., bro. And I had to work and go get dinner and go to the gym and stuff. I had no time for that, bro. I was literally asleep at 4 a.m. Dude, what's good, brother? God bless. Oh, Zedeko, God bless you, brother. Dude says Loki will no diff. Well, I kind of hope not. I see that this arc Elbaf a large piece of it hinges on the idea that Rode is the sun god or Loki is the sun god. That seems to be a very big part of this arc, hitting the core of this arc. This arc isn't just all about like, oh, Emu / Gunko versus good guys. Like, that's been a newer development, right? But when we think about like how this arc began, the deeper implications, the theological concerns of Elbaf, it really hinges on again, who is the true sun god? Who is the real sun god? Well, we all know it's certainly Luffy. Luffy ate the sun god Nika Devil Fruit. Luffy embodies Joy Boy. Luffy embodies the sun god. If you give the task of defeating Emu to someone like Loki, that really just detracts from Luffy being seen as the sun god. And if anything, it bolsters the idea that Loki is the sun god. And I don't think that's a route Oda would want to take. I think, if anything, Oda wants to bring the truth to the One Piece world, let alone Elbaf. So it makes more sense if the person to liberate and save Elbaf is not Loki, but it's Luffy. And also, if you had a scenario where Loki defeated Emu rather than Luffy defeating Emu, well, why would that be the case? Would you argue that Loki's over Luffy? I don't know about that. Especially since Loki's pretty nerfed to this arc. Emu is a true conqueror in every sense of the word. Yeah, 100%. Did you see Kiddingham's face? He's a merfolk descendant of Poseidon. Yeah, I've seen Kittingham in the Raws. I believe he has the spiked sharp teeth because he's in the hybrid form. So I don't necessarily subscribe to him being like a mink or like a fishman or something like that. It might be the case. Sure, that might actually be the case. But, nowadays, I want to feel compelled to buy into something. And I just feel like, there's a plausible explanation for his sharp teeth being tied to just this hybrid form. Luffy and Loki will save everyone together, furthering the debate of who is the real sun god. So you don't think that the debate will actually conclude this arc? Like, what do you mean by furthering the debate? Are you saying that like the debate is going to continue to go on, or are you saying that the debate is going to go further in the sense of arriving at a conclusion? Yeah, we what's up, Zero? We still don't know Loki's Devil Fruit. I'm actually excited to see it. Luffy will liberate Elbaf and make Hyruden and Loki duo kings. Yeah, that's actually a pretty good idea. That's pretty cool. And I think like people are getting a little too caught up, guys. By the way, I think people are getting a little too caught up with Emu / Gunko. Did people forget there's like 200 giants fueled by Emu right now? And there's like 200 nightmare monsters. Are we just like all forgetting that? Because certainly characters like Usopp are not going to be taking down a significant amount of those monsters or giants. And even if you wanted to posit the idea that the undemonized giants are going to take down the monsters, my question would be how? Because if we thought that maybe all the giants were around the same power level, we have to consider that some have been made taller and stronger through Emu's demonic powers. So what does that say about the ones that haven't been made demonic, taller, and stronger? How can we argue that those guys are going to actually be stronger than the ones buffed by Emu? Moreover, what makes it worse is that the ones that were buffed by Emu are notable giants. Dory, Bragi, etc. Like the only giants that haven't been made taller and stronger and demonic through Emu are like no-name giants that like the average fan can't even name. But if you do want to name the giants that are demonic, the ones that have been made quote-unquote taller and stronger, are the ones we can actually name. So like this just goes back to the question, how we can't focus too much on Gunko and Emu. I mean, like, of course, like focus and talk about it, but I'm saying we shouldn't focus too much to the point where we ignore the massive amount of giants and monsters there are. I mean, look at chapter 1150, the last double page of 1150. Oda barely even fit all of the giants and all of the monsters in the double page. But going on to 1151, apparently there's even more than 1150. Like, do you guys see what the problem is? It's not like there's just 2 fodder enemies. No, we're talking about like a ton of demonic giants and a ton of demonic nightmare monsters. So if we gave that duty, to someone like Loki, that could still be pretty insane to showcase Loki and to have him exert his power. It's not like he's fighting fodder. He's literally fighting huge giants and monsters that are powered by Emu. And moreover, don't we also have the fact that Kittingham is still alive? What about Kittingham? Exactly, SL, exactly. Hyruden isn't that strong to begin with. So Hyruden's going against, first of all, Dorian Bragi, but then it's not just Dorian Bragi, it's actually buffed Dorian Bragi, buffed by Emu himself. How are they going to close the gap there? And like, can we really say that, like, characters like Nami might be able to take down some of these monsters? Maybe one monster in a 1v1, but there's a lot more than just one monster. Not them being 2 kings themselves, but since they are co-captains, I can agree with Hyruden and Loki being co-king. Well, who would be the king then? Luffy? Someone either needs to incapacitate Kittingham or help the giants overcome their fears to defeat the MMAs. My money is on Usopp. We could see another Zoro plus Usopp team up against another giraffe. Yeah, I see. I really do like that idea of Usopp, leading a militia, leading an army and stuff like that. Obviously, we have the former false dreams of Usopp, leading an army of like 1,000 people or however many it was. I don't remember the number. Someone in the chat remembers. I could see that taking place in Elbaf, but what makes it even better is we know that Usopp really desires, like, his dream is to become a brave warrior of the sea. It's pretty interesting how Oda's putting a lot of emphasis and a lot of focus into nightmare monsters in Elbaf that seem to derive from people's fears specifically. Oda's been putting emphasis on that. So if Usopp's man enough to go against those monsters and also lead people against those nightmare monsters, manifested through the nightmares and the fears of people, that could play into his dream, his mission of becoming a brave warrior of the sea. But see, this is going down like the rabbit hole, down the route of, talking about Usopp and his potential leadership. But a second ago, we were talking about like Usopp in a 1v1. I don't know if Usopp could take down one of these antagonists in a 1v1, let alone there's so many of them. All right, 1 second, guys. King J wants us to check the spoilers chat. Let's check out the spoilers chat. Wait, what is this? What am I about to watch? Me, L, Smokey in chat when Loki takes out Emu and gets more hype than Dragon. Fire. That was actually fire. Shout out to King J. That's going to be you guys when Loki takes out Gunko. When Loki takes out Gunko and Emu. Gunko / Emu. Yeah, that was Eminem. Hey, King J, if you can, bro, put that into the memes channel on my Discord. Because, guys, I created a new channel on my Discord called Memes. Go post your memes in there because it's a different kind of channel than like regular Discord text channels. Like the regular Discord text channel where people type and you have to scroll. Go check out on my Discord, !Discord, the channel that's called Memes. It's a totally different layout from the regular text channels that you see on Discord. All right, guys, let's continue, okay? Then a flashback starts. Ooh, flashback. Then a flashback starts. It takes place when Gabon and Chopper fell from the sun world to the underworld. Chopper saves Gabon with a giant guard point. That's our boy. That's our boy, Chopper. Loki and Hyruden continue arguing about what happens with King Harold. Loki says to him, I think. Loki says to him that Hyruden must kneel down if he wants to hear more about what happened. Dude, what? Why don't you just talk it out instead of like making him submit? It's kind of messed up. It's kind of immature. Loki's like, yo, you want me to talk more about what happened with King Harold? Well, guess what, Hyrule? You need to bow down to me. That doesn't really seem very mature. But Hyrule replies he won't listen to one more word from the man who killed his father. Suddenly, Luffy says something. Okay, so what do you guys think about that? I think, again, I was holding to the position that Loki was a bad guy. He killed his father because I was holding very tight to what we knew about Loki and the Elbaf arc. And of course, Chad, I was open to Oda throwing a curveball at us, but that was more speculative than substantive. But it does seem here, we do have some clues that Loki might have killed his father. I don't want to say for good reason. That sounds pretty terrible. But Loki might have had. Maybe we really need to see and hear the full story as to why Loki did that to Hyrule. And I know some people posit the idea that, maybe in the past, Emu and Gunko tried to take over Elbaf before, through creating the demonic covenant with Hyrule or with Harold and his subordinates. But again, that's still rather speculative. Not to say it's not true. That's not the same thing as saying it's false. It's just a bit speculative. God bless you, Nomad. God bless you, Lucas. Suddenly, Luffy says something. Hey, Chopper fell down just now. Sanji says, hey, huh? There was a big noise, but you saw who fell down? Luffy says, nope. Bro, what? How are you going to say Chopper fell down? Oh, did you see who fell down? No. Okay, well, I guess you sensed that it was Chopper. Loki says, it does seem like someone fell down. They are beyond the mountains. Luffy says, huh? Why did I know it was Chopper? And there's another person with him, very weakened. Yo, Luffy must have really good senses at this point, Yonko level observation, exactly. This man, Luffy, just with the subtle flex, Luffy just with the subtle flex, like, I don't need to see who's over there, but, I'm pretty sure it's Chopper because my senses tell me so. By the way, the dude with Chopper, yeah, he's pretty wounded. Sanji says, if that's true, this is no small matter. That means they fell from the Sun World? Zoro says, let's go find them immediately. Let's go, Zoro. Let's go, Zoro. That's my boy. That's my boy. As Luffy, Zoro, and Sanji go to retrieve Chopper and the other person, Mosa calls Loki and tells him that due to some situation, they won't be able to call again. After Gabon first aids Luffy, Zoro and Sanji discover who he really is. Luffy says, what? You mean this old man was a member of the Pirate King's crew? So he was with Roger and Rayleigh? Hyrule says, alongside the Dark King Rayleigh, they were the wings of the Pirate King. In terms of strength, he was probably number 3. Hyrule says that. Interesting. Hyruden's more of a Zoro type of guy than a Sanji kind of guy. Luffy says, what? That means he knows Shanks too? Yeah, so Luffy doesn't even care about who's stronger. Luffy's just more concerned with, Scopper knew Roger, he knew Rayleigh, he knew Shanks. Although Gabon is lying down and he can barely move, he manages to raise 2 fingers and says, I was number 2. Okay. Hyrule wonders what happened to cause a man of Gabon's caliber to end up like that. Chopper explains that children have been taken as hostages, so they couldn't lay a finger on the enemies, even though there were only a few of them. Chopper continues, explaining that some huge monsters appeared too, but suddenly they all sense Emu's supreme haki, the one from chapter 1150. God bless, Artie. See, now this is something that I was actually like thinking about, speculating recently, where, people were saying like, how is it that Emu and Gunko's exerting all this hockey? Luffy and Loki and the boys, they don't even sense Emu's hockey. That doesn't really make sense. And I gave two options. Either option A, they were way too far to sense the hockey, or option number B, or letter B rather, is that we're gonna see them react to hockey, but like in the past, the next chapter, 1151, this chapter. So it seems like Oda took that second route. I'm not really surprised. Nobody here should be surprised. It was rather obvious that Luffy would sense the hockey. I mean, we literally had situations last arc where Luffy sensing people, sensing hockey and stuff like that. So we don't necessarily need to see in the same chapter where, a foe or an antagonist exerts, conquers hockey, where, in that same chapter, well, Luffy better recognize it immediately. It's like Oda doesn't always run under the idea that, well, first of all, people are going to react instantly within the same chapter. But secondly, that current present events take place only at that moment when you're reading the chapter. A lot of times we see someone else's angle or someone else's perspective in the next chapter, or even a few more chapters after that. Let's see. So Gabon says, "Hey now, this hockey." Zoro says, "What the?" Gerd says, "What is this?" Chapter ends with everyone looking at the sun world worried. Everyone except Loki, who is laughing. Hyruden says, "Everyone get on the lift. We are going back to the sun world immediately. Elbaf is in danger." Luffy says, "Chopper, I get it now." Loki says, "Who was that? That hockey was absurd." Door ga 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 ha ha. "I believe you need it, don't you? You need my power." End of chapter. Break next week. Not the most mind-blowing chapter. I enjoy the long summary more than the short summary. That's generally how it goes. I'll give it a low 7. I mean, it's not mid. It's not a bad chapter, but it's not like, oh, insane. My bad. Wait, audio gone? Hello? Hello? Chat, are we back? Hello? Are we good? Oh, it's back now? Okay, thank you. It definitely seems like this chapter is literally just okay, we had maybe like a tiny bit of dialogue of Killingham and who was it again? Killingham and Gunko. They spoke a little bit. Then Chopper falls, they talk with Luffy, and then the chapter ends. This actually feels very short. I mean, go ahead and look at the long summary. Killingham is shown. He's talking a little bit about Emu. Gunko saying, "We're going to destroy Elbaf. We're going to break their heart." And then Chopper falls. So that was the only dialogue in the long summary between Killingham and Gunko. Very, very small. Then it immediately transitions into Chopper falling, and it's just like a little bit of dialogue of like, "Oh, Chopper's here. Gabon is the former Roger pirate. Oh, who's hockey?" Chapter ends. So this chapter is definitely chat is the word I'm looking for sparse. Is that the word I'm looking for? Sparse? This chapter feels very sparse. I mean, not too much going on. Like, it's weird because it doesn't feel too mid. Like, it feels necessary. You know, we need a chapter like this where Chopper's linking up with Scopper to heal him. You know, they both fell, but they're with Luffy. Then they're sensing Emu, so now it's time to go run. I mean, Chad, you can't expect every single chapter to be 11 or 1044. I mean, come on. Historia. Welcome back, brother. God bless. Historia de Universos. I'm guessing a 13, 14 page chapter. King J, isn't it usually like a 15 page chapter when it's short? Or is it pushing 13, 14? I thought it was usually like 15. Or maybe it is 13. I can't remember. I feel like I've heard of like a 13 page chapter. Or was it like a 15? It might have been 13. You might be right, Vincent. It might be like a 13, 14 page chapter. I mean, again, there's 2 sentences from Kittingham and Gunko, then it immediately goes to Chopper, which wasn't very long. God bless you, Raymond. Netflix eater, God bless. Chopped, I guess you meant Chopper. Chopper going to learn more about biofeedback to hurt the Holy Knights with Gabon. What do you mean by biofeedback? What do you mean by that? Do you think the giant skull in Wano is from someone who was transformed by Emu in the past? I was actually thinking that the giant skull on Wano, I said this a long time ago. I maybe one of my mods can find the video. I was thinking that giant was the original oars that Oda hasn't exactly explicitly mentioned. And it's kind of a long explanation, so maybe a mod can find the video. Hold on, maybe I can find the video, actually. Go on YouTube, type in Evil Ancient Kingdom. Maybe that's what would pop up. Yeah. Okay. Here, I'll put the video to it in the YouTube stream chat right now. I talk about why I think there's a hidden oars, which was the original oars that Oda has never shown, and that his skull is the skull that we see on Onigashima. Oda has to set the scene by making Luffy look a little cool with Loki. Hey, I'm here for it. Loki's an awesome character. I think Elbaf is a great arc. I think Elbaf is an awesome, phenomenal arc so far. I mean, we have Shamrock, we have Kittingham, we have Summers, we have Gunko, we have Emu making moves. We have, the return of Dorian Broggy and the Giants. We have the School of Knowledge. We have the 1138 mural. We clearly have more Nika build-up. What else do we have, chat? I think Elbaf is an awesome arc so far. There's nothing in Elbaf that's really bothering me aside from the cover story. I think the cover story kind of sucks. Scopper, exactly, Viswa. Evil Sanji is stronger than Zoro because Gabon is confirmed to be the second strongest. How is it confirmed? Is it because Scopper said so? Next chapter, I get it now. It's mystery hockey. No, Nomad, your English is good. I understood what you were saying. Bro getting cremated in Discord? Who, me? Who's getting cremated in Discord? Not me. What do you mean I'm getting cremated? One Piece Dance. Shout out to King J. He actually posted the meme. One Piece Dance. When the stream has been shut down by... When the stream has been shut down by blank for the 6th time this week, but Evil still like, nothing happened, chat. Smokey to Evil. L dropped a second... Okay, that's kind of funny. That's kind of hilarious. L dropped a second meme, sir. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. Good one, L. Good one. You got me. You got me. You happy? You happy? Would Joy Boy have a devil fruit like Nika? Yeah, 1,000%. Joy Boy 1,000% had the Nika fruit. Now, I don't even know if I would consider it a theory or just outright confirmed, but no shadow of a doubt, Joy Boy had the Nika fruit. 100,000,000%. I mean, like when we see Vegapunk go on his tangent, go on his rant during the broadcast in the Egghead Island arc, he specifically talks about how Joy Boy was born in a beyond advanced civilization 900 years ago. And he points out that Joy Boy was compared to Nika because Joy Boy was able to stretch and contract his body, which is obviously alluding to the idea that Joy Boy had rubber powers. Now, seeing how Luffy is the new Joy Boy, it points to how Joy Boy is more of a title. But notice how this new Joy Boy Luffy also has rubber abilities only because he ate the Nika fruit. So without a shadow of a doubt, Joy Boy had the Nika fruit. No, is Joy Boy a devil fruit like Nika? Is it? No. I believe Joy Boy was a person and he had the Nika fruit. So how I would put it, Amoni, is that in the way that we call Joy Boy of the Ancient Kingdom Joy Boy is in the way that characters like Crocodile call Luffy Mugiwara. You get it? I don't think Joy Boy's name was literally Joy Boy. Like, to me, it's clearly an epithet, especially with the fact that, like, Luffy's clearly being portrayed as the return of Joy Boy, but no one would argue that Luffy was, like, alive 900 years ago, right? So if Joy Boy is a title and it's meant to be inherited, then that means that when they talk about Joy Boy of the past, it has to be a person. And again, in Vegapunk's broadcast in Egghead Island, he notes how Joy Boy was compared to Nika because Joy Boy could stretch and contract. But if the current Luffy, Joy Boy, can stretch and contract because of the Nika fruit, then it makes most sense that Joy Boy was a person that had the title of Joy Boy who could stretch and contract because he ate the Nika fruit. So the question is what is Joy Boy's real name? I actually love the idea that Joy Boy's name is Davy Jones. I think like that is such an awesome idea. I've been saying that for a while. I'm pretty sure a lot of people have probably said that. I highly doubt I'm the only person, but I think I actually came up with that idea in the middle of a stream. To those of you that have been watching the stream for a while, you probably know or remember. It's an epithet. You can conclude that the reason for the joy part of the name was because he has gear 5, which brings and spreads contagious joy. Yeah, exactly. And also, wasn't there dialogue towards the end of the Wano arc regarding Joy Boy? I can't remember that well. Does anyone know? Does anyone know? It was towards the end of Wano, like after Kaido was defeated. I think it was like a school teacher talking to the kids. I think they had some kind of comment about Joy Boy at that time. I don't remember how it goes, but if someone could go find it or tell me what it was, that'd be great. Zudeko, God bless you, brother. He says, hell no. Davy Jones is the man marked by flames. So I would actually disagree with that on several points. For point one, we know that far before the man marked by flames was ever named, we know that Robin names Davy Jones. And the reason why, was it Robin? Maybe it was someone else. I think it was Robin, though. Whoever it was, it doesn't really matter who it was, but they named Davy Jones as like the creator of the Davy back fight. And we know that the Davy back fight has been around for a very long time. I think, did they also say that the Davy back fight originated on Hachinosu Island? So if the Davy back fight originated on on the Hachinosu Island, right? And Hachinosu has always been a pirate island, then that kind of shows, or that kind of makes sense because the Davy back fight is a pirate game. Well, we know that Joy Boy was the first ever pirate. And we know that both Luffy and Blackbeard are D-Clan members who strive to be the king of the pirates. So it makes most sense to me that the first pirate ever, Joy Boy, had the epithet of Joy Boy because he ate the sun god Nika fruit, but his actual name was Davy Jones, originating the Davy back fight because it's a pirate game, it's a pirate fight on Hachinosu Island, the pirate island that the new wannabe pirate king Blackbeard has taken over. Raymond says everything that sinks goes to his locker. What if Davy Jones is actually Emu? So that's why devil fruit users drown and he collects their fruit. So here's my thing, Raymond. I've always heard of the Davy Jones locker kind of thing, and I actually love it. I think it's awesome. But the way I approach the situation is that when we talk about the Davy Jones locker, it's more speculative than everything I just made an argument for, you know? Like we know for certainty that Joy Boy was the first ever pirate. We know, I mean, I deem it as for certainty that Joy Boy is an epithet. So therefore, the original Joy Boy we talk about is actually that's not actually his name. So what is his name? We know that the Davy back fight was most likely instituted by Davy Jones. You know, so when we start to talk about Davy Jones' locker, that moves into like a real life myth, you know, mythos. And that's not the same as me saying it's wrong. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm not saying it's not plausible. But when I have to lean one way or another, I would lean towards my original argument because there's more canonical groundwork to use. Does that make sense? Narona family like Emu. What do you mean? He could be a slave. He has no real name. I mean, maybe, but how can you like prove that? You like we could say, oh, maybe Joy Boy was a slave. And then you would say, like, someone would ask you, like, why? And then you would just be like, oh, I don't know. Maybe he was a slave. So do you have a reason? Maybe you have a reason. I don't know. Maybe you have a reason. L with the 333. God bless you, brother. He says, is it Davy back because he was fighting it to get his crewmates back from Emu's control? I actually never thought of that.
This guy brought a nuke into the building.
The boy Al. He cooks with the memes and he cooks with the theories. Is it the Davy back fight because he was fighting it to get his crewmates back from Emu's control? Interesting. Maybe you go think. Let's go think about that some more, Al, because I can't actually, you know, it's hard for me to be like, oh, well, look at this, you know, this one panel in the story. This proves it. I mean, I can't really think of something, but of course, that's not the same thing as saying, no, L, you're wrong. You know what I mean? Like when I argue that, you know, something is, you know, maybe inconclusive or unsubstantiated, all I'm saying is that we don't have enough canonical facts to prove it. But that doesn't mean it's not true, you know? That's a good idea, though. That's a good theory, Al. I've never thought of it like that. See, L, you know what I got to do? Because you always do this, L. Every time I have like a take or a theory, you find a way to like make it better. It's like I cooked up the dish and then you put the final seasonings on it. Or actually, it's more like me, Dawn of Ascension, and King J. We're sitting there in the kitchen, sweating bullets. We're drenched in sweat. Our back hurts. The radio music is playing loud as heck. We're over here sweating, grinding in the kitchen to cook a full, delicious plate of food. We put it out, and then L's like, here, bro, you forgot the seasoning. We haven't seen any character birthed into slavery. Have we not? Have we not? That might actually be true. Because wasn't Boa kidnapped? Chad, have we seen anybody born into slavery? I mean, maybe those slaves in Marie-Joie that work the travelators, maybe, but I can't really prove that. I mean, I would assume that like they've been slaves there their whole life because of their dialogue. Tagashi back pain, exactly. Tagashi back pain. Too dumb to cook beyond that, brother. Just did a layup. Yeah, I'll have to think about that some more. L, of course, brother. God bless. Thank you. And you use the stream elements, L. You use the stream elements because you're a certified G. Calling it now before this arc ends. We're going to get Gear 5 Luffy or Luffy. Well, I said Luffy. Gear 5 Luffy versus Brave Demon Usopp. Really? You think Usopp's going to become a demon? Oh, man. I know there's been a lot of speculation recently about, a possible Straw Hat member getting turned into a demon. I think that would actually be, that'd be very, very detrimental because we don't know how to, I was going to say revoke. We don't know how to revoke the demonic covenant. Now, maybe this arc we figure out how to revoke it, maybe. But I'm scared about a Straw Hat, or I'm scared for a Straw Hat to get used into the demonic covenant when we have no idea how to answer. L cooking because of OP cookbook. Man, L's out here getting fried, bro. Hikikomori, God bless, brother. How you doing, brother? Bonnie, the closest we've seen born into slavery, and she wasn't even a slave. Yeah. Bonnie. I mean, Kuma was kind of... Was Kuma? No, maybe Kuma wasn't it. Was it Kuma's father? I don't know. Zero Clover says, somehow, if Davy Jones... Or Davy Back Jones game... Wait, Davy Back Jones game? Do you mean Davy... Okay, somehow if Davy Jones game... or Davy Back game foreshadows final arc, so probably some straw pirate got flipped, cited to Emu later. If Emu became demon, he's gonna overpower. Well, I know a lot of people would argue that the Davy Back fight foreshadows the end of One Piece, but not because of Emu. It's actually because they deem it to be a part of Blackbeard. Now, of course, chat, I don't actually subscribe to the idea that Blackbeard is the final boss. I mean, I definitely believe it's Emu. Theological reasons, ideological reasons. I don't know. That's actually, I don't mean this in a rude way or anything, but that's actually like really strange. Because like when I think Emu, final boss or whatever, I'm thinking like button heads. It's a war zone, final war. It'd be kind of strange for Luffy to have a Davy Back fight with Emu at the end of the story. I've never thought of it like that. But that's just my opinion. Zedeko says maybe Emu is like Calypso and Davy Jones fell in love with her, but Emu cursed him, like Zunisha, to sail through the sea and protect the missing road poneglyph. Wait, Emu wants to protect the poneglyph? I thought, if anything, Emu wants to seize the road poneglyphs. God bless you, Kikomori. God bless, brother. God bless, brother. So that means we will get Sanji demon version versus Zoro. Oh no, that would be the end of Sanji's life. Sanji would die. Sanji would die. Unless Kid shows up and like pulls Zoro swords, then maybe Sanji wins. Awaken slow fruit one shots everyone. Man, yo, this dude, I forgot his name. This dude Foxy has the most ridiculous fruit in the story, bro. It's so funny. His fruit is actually so broken. If you guys go reread Long Ring Long Land, don't watch it. Go to the manga and just quickly read through it, like skim through it really fast. His fruit is broken. Like when you try to use your memory and think back to Davy Back fight or Foxy, you might be like, oh yeah, he freezes people. It's pretty strong. But no, go back and actually read it. His fruit is completely broken. Majestic Mr. Mo. God bless Mo. How we doing, chat? How we doing, Mo? How we doing? How's school? How's university? How's your life, brother? How's it all going? How is it all going? Zedeko, who is Calypso? I don't actually know Calypso. Who is Calypso? Is it some girl? I mean, Oda did foreshadow Sanji by Zoro's hand. Or, no, I mean, Oda did foreshadow Sanji dying by Zoro's hand, so that's a strong possibility. Okay, so listen. When I say that Sanji would die to Zoro, I don't actually believe Zoro would ever kill Sanji. I think that would never, ever, ever happen. For many reasons, obviously, like a straw hat killing another one, that is just completely outlandish. Zoro would probably get booted from the crew. That's completely wild. I don't think and I don't think you necessarily believe this either. Maybe Vincent, but I don't think people actually believe Sanji would get killed by Zoro. That's just complete I mean, if I've ever said that, I'm definitely joking. I don't actually think that would ever be the case. That'd be pretty outlandish. A straw hat killing another one. That's wild. I think Calypso is in Greek mythology. Yeah, I don't really know. Calypso is the goddess of the sea. Oh, that's interesting. Let me see. Calypso. Calypso, a nymph who lived on the island of I don't even know how to say that. Ogygia, where according to Homer's Odyssey, she detained Odysseus for 7 years against his will. She promised Odysseus immortality if he would stay with her. Makes me think like maybe Emu. So Emu would be Odysseus, and then Lily would be, or I'm sorry, Emu would be Calypso, and then Odysseus would be Lily, maybe. Emu promised Lily immortality if she would stay with him. But Lily preferred to return home. Ooh. Eventually, the intervention with the other gods, Calypso was forced to let Odysseus go. Interesting how Odysseus ended up getting away. So I guess like Oda would have to take his creative liberty to make sure that Lily didn't go away. If we assume the parallel or the inspiration. Zoro beats Sanji, but it's an extreme diff fight. It seems Oda is aligning to make them even closer. I mean, I don't really have a problem with that. Maybe Sanji would be the third strongest. Oh, no, I wouldn't say that Sanji's the third strongest. I mean, after Luffy, I guess, but... Well, yeah, that's probably what you meant. That's probably what you meant when you said third. Sanji would be the third strongest like Gabon, but he's different being bioengineered. Not a Sanji stan, but you think Zoro can take a hit to the neck like Sanji did in Wano? Probably. I don't see why not. Zoro has far exceeded the necessary durability comparisons that we see from Sanji. I mean, like, look at Rooftop. Look at Nothing Happened. Zoro is most definitely a character with significant feats of durability. I saw Zoro in Bro's Eye. Will the real dragon please stand up? Also, I don't actually think Zoro will kill Sanji. I was just throwing that out that it's possible. Yeah. I figured as much. I didn't think that you actually subscribe to that. Guys, if I ever misinterpret or misrepresent your views or your theories or your takes or your opinions or speculations, guys, it's out of mistake. Never feel like I'm trying to like intentionally misrepresent you to like clown you guys and stuff like that. Gotta bounce, take care, stay safe. The crazies are everywhere. Follow this guy. Hey, shouts out to the boy Hikikomori. God bless, brother. Have a wonderful night, my man. Get some good sleep. Get some good rest, brother. Take care of yourself. We will be live for the chapter reaction, all right? So don't miss that. This is why you need to turn on the notification bell so you don't miss it, All right. But if you don't turn on the notification bell, you're going to miss the stream. Then you're going to go into the VOD, and then you're going to go into the comment section, and then you're going to say, oh, bro, I missed the stream. No. I see those all the time. This is exactly why you guys need to turn on the noti bell. All right. If you guys are enjoying the stream so far, drop a like on the stream chat. Drop a like if you're new here and you love talking about the One Piece theories, the breakdowns, getting your questions answered, a Q&A format, making fun of each other, roasting, memes, chapter reactions, what have you. Subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, select all so you don't miss these streams. And we're going to try to convert portions of these streams into videos. All right, guys? By the way, I was trolling with Sanji versus Zoro theory. Don't listen to me. Yeah, I wasn't taking it too serious. But the Calypso take was interesting. The Calypso take was interesting. Ring the Bell of Shandora, man. The end of the Skypiea arc was just like, bro, I think I've cried twice to the end of Skypiea. When Luffy hits the bell and hits NL, and they can hear the bell and Luffy's shadows in the sky, and Cricket with his homies are looking up at the shadow and they're thinking about how the Sky Island's up there. Oh, man, that just moves me, man. That just moves me, especially in the manga, because the Skypiea manga, the pacing was awesome. But in the anime, I don't know, it just didn't translate that well with the pacing. The ending of the Skypiea arc is just absolutely phenomenal. It's one of those things where, like, I just absolutely adore One Piece. It was such a great, fantastic ending. I'm in love with that ending, man. Emotional damage. It was spectacular, bro. It was awesome. That's the type of things that I love from One Piece. One of the best arcs. And you guys, I'm telling you, go reread. Don't rewatch, guys. I mean, you can. You have the freedom to do that. But please go reread Skypiea. Just go reread. You're going to see a bunch of things you forgot about. Maybe find foreshadowings and some typology. Maybe make a theory. It is such a good arc. Just like Fishman Island. It is the same thing. With Fishman Island, it didn't translate that well into the anime through the pacing. In the manga, it is phenomenal. Dressrosa as well. I would see the three biggest examples of the arc being amazing in the manga but not translating great to the anime because of pacing is Skypiea. My mind went blank. Skypiea, Fishman Island, and Dressrosa. Hey, Burkedly, Burke. I'm gonna call you Burke. God bless, brother. I'm glad to have you here. God bless you. Melfor, God bless you, brother. Do you think that Mosa is Shiki? Well, who is coming to save Straw Hats? Wait, do you think that Mosa is Shiki? Did you have a typo? Maybe you made a typo. Is Mosa Shiki? I mean that's obviously no, but maybe you had a typo because like Shiki was on the phone with Mosa. I don't think Shiki's like talking to himself, you know. Maybe you had a typo. Also, didn't the spoiler say that Mosa can't speak anymore to Loki? Yeah, that'd be pretty cool if some dude shows up in the middle of this Gunko battle, this monster giant battle, and this new guy shows up. He looks really cool, or maybe it's a girl, whoever. They look really cool. They're pretty strong, cool devil fruit. And then they're like, oh yeah, by the way, I'm Mosa. Like that does feel like, something Oda would do. But if you're asking me if Mosa and Shiki is the same person, I would say clearly not. What's good? Is it Soy Ray? Is that how I pronounce it? God bless you. I think Mosa was the one waiting for the Straw Hats to arrive on the cliff. Oh, so you think Mosa's actually on Elbaf? I think Mosa was the one waiting for the Straw Hats to arrive on Elbaf. Yeah, that's actually interesting. We still don't know who that was, do we? I think a lot of people conclude that it was Scopper, but do we know that for sure? I think Mosa was the one waiting for the Straw Hats to arrive on Elbaf on the cliff. I don't think Blackbeard being the final boss, either he will beat Luffy, or he will get beat by Luffy, or help defeat Emu, then fight Luffy. Oh, hell no.
Oh my god, bro. Oh, man. What the fuck, man?
All right, man. Listen. Hey, SL, I know you want to speak about this, and I don't mind going over it again if you have rebuttals when we do the open mic. But chat, I'm going to give my full-fledged explanation and take as to why Emu is certainly the final boss of One Piece. All right. I want someone here, if you guys are watching the stream, I want you to get ready to highlight this part of the stream. Get ready to clip this part of the stream so I could just turn it into a video, okay? I would very, very much appreciate that. I will shout you out. I'll follow you, whatever. Just get ready to clip or highlight the rant I'm about to go on, because I'm going to give what will hopefully be my final response as to why Emu is certainly the final boss of One Piece, and it's not Blackbeard. Okay? Maybe I should start by having a picture of Emu and Blackbeard. You know, just to kind of set the scene. Also, guys, I could, throughout my argument, pull up the chapters and stuff like that, but I feel like that would just kind of distract me. I'll have, like, every time I make a point, I'll have to go pull up the chapter. So maybe you guys can kind of just take my word for it, and if I said something wrong in the chapters, then just let me know, okay? What's good, Axrum? God bless, man. All right, chat. Let's begin why I deem Emu as the final boss of Blackbeard, or Emu final boss of Blackbeard. Let's begin with why it is most certainly the case that Emu is the final boss and not Blackbeard. So let's first start talking about the character of Emu. We know that Emu rules the world government. He is the hidden sovereign, right? In chapter 908, that's when he first appears, right? During the Reverie arc. But notice that Emu sits on the empty throne, and Emu is made to be a character that contradicts the lie that no one rules the world. Now, that's very important. Hold on to that. We then see the five elders. They get on their knees. They bow down to Emu, and they ask which light should be extinguished, right? Notice how Emu is shown to hold supreme authority over the world government. Hold on to that detail. So we can clearly see throughout the story that Emu's goal is to suppress the truth and eliminate threats to the world order that's already established, okay? In chapter 1085, we see that Emu even orders King Cobra's assassination after Cobra learns the truth about Lily being a D-Clan member. In chapter 1060, what do we see? Emu, ordering the hit on Leloucia, erases the entirety of Leloucia Kingdom using a new mysterious weapon that can eradicate an entire island. We also see how Emu basically commands the Marines to act as if Leloucia never even existed. And Emu is clearly being portrayed as someone who has total control, complete secrecy, and historical erasure. He is the ultimate enforcer of the world government's will. Now let's talk about Blackbeard. Well, we know a lot more about Blackbeard. He's not completely shrouded in secrecy like Emu. His full name, Marshall D. Teach. He's one of the four emperors. He's a public figure. He's been we've seen how he betrayed the Whitebeard crew. We see how he captured Ace. We see how he killed Whitebeard. We see how he steals a devil fruit. We know he has two devil fruits. We know he has the Yami Yami no Mi, darkness powers of Talokia. We know he has the Gura Gura no Mi, earthquake paramecia. We know his crew includes powerful people like ex-Admiral Kuzan. We know he turned Hachinosu into his base. We know that he tried to get this base recognized as a pirate country. We see that he aggressively expands his territory. He's a major antagonist in the One Piece final saga, and I'm not taking away from that. But the problem is, in this conversation, is that Blackbeard, when it comes to Blackbeard, his power is raw and visible. Let me say that one more time. His power is raw and visible. There's no mystery. We see his goals, his actions, and his fights. Now, please don't straw man me saying, well, we don't know why Blackbeard chose the Yami. That's getting into the weeds of it. Now let's move on to talk about the goals and the ambitions of Emu and Blackbeard. Let's start with Emu. Emu's ambitions are totally ideological and they're cosmic in scope, right? In chapter 1085, Emu explains how the D-Clan are the ancient enemies of the world government. Emu clearly seeks to preserve the world order, rewrite history, and maintain control. Emu erases entire nations like Lelucia and silences the truth tellers of the world. The five elders speak of a great cleansing, but Emu decides which light should be extinguished. So, of course, Emu's goal is to eliminate all threats, especially people who bear the D initial, like Luffy, to the current regime. Emu essentially represents divine censorship and ideological purification. Now, let's talk about Blackbeard. His ambitions are self-serving. Blackbeard's ambitions are opportunistic. It's self-serving. Blackbeard wants world domination, right? And practically power, territory, and treasure. Blackbeard seeks the title of Pirate King, which makes Blackbeard rival Luffy. Notice how nobody can point to Blackbeard saying he wants to become king of the world. You can't find it. But I can point to how a panel shows how Buggy explicitly says he wants to become king of the world. And when you look at the context of Blackbeard wanting total power and stuff like that, world domination closest, it's always in the context of Pirate King, like Roger. Now we know that Blackbeard captures powerful figures and he hunts devil fruits and expands his empire. I won't take that away from him. And he's trying to legitimize his base as a pirate country. But Blackbeard has no higher ideal or destiny. Are you getting it now, guys? Whitebeard even told Teach, you are not the one Roger's waiting for. Blackbeard's not the one. Blackbeard is driven by greed and conquest, not ideology like Emu, right? Now let's talk about powers and narrative control. Emu's powers are mostly unknown. What we can see, the little glimpses that we can see are immense and terrifying, but they're mostly unknown. No one can tell you for certain what his devil fruit is. In chapter 1060, he obliterates Lelucia remotely. In chapter 1085, we see how he transforms it to some kind of monster, but it's a silhouette. And we know for certain that Emu possesses forbidden knowledge. We could sit here all day. Oh, well, Blackbeard, his hobby is ancient research. So maybe Blackbeard knows about the D-Clan. Maybe he knows about Joy Boy. Maybe. But we could certainly say that Emu knows about Joy Boy, right? That's not really a question, right? We could see that Emu knows about Nika. That's not really a question, right? We could see that Emu knows about the Ancient Kingdom. That's not really a question, right? And we know that Emu's cold, calculating, always shrouded in mystery, versus Blackbeard that's literally visible. Until chapter 1084, 1085, Emu didn't even really speak at all. Bro didn't even really speak at all. Always in the shadows, always hidden, always behind some mask, right? And Emu confronts King Cobra in the throne room and has Cobra executed. Why? Because Cobra is a threat to the world order. That's something that's already established versus Blackbeard, who's gunning to go and have world power. Emu's already established. Blackbeard's only trying to make an attempt. But that shows you the dichotomy between Luffy and Blackbeard in that role, not world domination power in the sense that Emu holds. Moreover, Emu, right? He's seen as the unseen puppet master of the world's greatest conspiracies. But again, Blackbeard, completely in the open, completely in the visible. And Luffy has not yet faced Emu. And I guess we could say, this is about to change, if Luffy throws hands with Gonko. But that's still not the same thing, because Gonko is clearly being possessed by Emu. So at most, it's like going against Emu's haki or something like that. Emu's not exactly Luffy's not exactly facing Emu, but Luffy faced Blackbeard and Impel Down, right? So this is a sign that Emu's the final antagonist. And then moving to Blackbeard. Blackbeard's powers are explicit and devastating, right? Yami Yami no Mi, nullifying devil fruits. Gura Gura no Mi, causing quakes, right? The only known person with 2 devil fruits. We know that he defeated Ace. We know that he killed Whitebeard. We know he became an emperor. And maybe I've said this many times through the Egghead Island arc. There's been a lot of hints about how Blackbeard comes from a special bloodline, right? That's something else to think about. But Blackbeard, again, he acts openly. He liberates Impel Down openly. Everyone knew this. He's fighting across the seas. Even post chapter 1000, we see him fighting was it post 1000? Post 1000 fighting Law. And Blackbeard is clearly being portrayed as a rival pirate boss, not a shadow ruler. He's a major combat rival. But again, Blackbeard being a major combat rival still lacks the symbolic or ideological weight of Emu. And that's the point, right? Moving on to symbolism. Let's talk about the symbolism and thematic conflicts, because this should really be the nail in the coffin for you guys. Okay, let's talk about the symbolism and thematic conflict. Most people would argue that one of the deepest, most core themes in the story is what? Freedom versus control. Now let's start with Emu. Emu embodies total control, total secrecy, total authoritarianism. The empty throne is supposed to symbolize, I guess it does symbolize a lie. The world believes no one rules the world. We're all equal. World's government, democracy. But Emu secretly sits on the throne. He is erasing entire kingdoms with no regard to innocent life. The only reason he chose to eradicate Lelucia is because Lelucia was the closest island to him. No regard for human life. We see how Emu even seeks to rewrite history, and he decides who lives, dies, and is remembered. You see how this is playing into control? We see how Emu even represents the opposite of freedom. Censorship, erasure, manipulation, etc. Emu controls the world government, history itself, and the global order. So it's clear that Emu stands as the final obstacle to Luffy's dream, or perhaps what could be his dream, of universal freedom. Now let's go to Blackbeard. Again, he claims freedom, but again, it's still self-serving. It's self-serving, it's chaotic. He's striving for freedom, but Emu's already embodying control. So when people say that, oh, well, Blackbeard could defeat Emu and then he has the control. Okay, but why go through that whole mess? Emu's already established. Emu's already exerting this power of control that we see in the core of the story of freedom versus control. Luffy and Blackbeard are gunning for the same thing, but Emu's already the one in control. Blackbeard also mocks morality, and he pursues freedom for himself, not for other people. Blackbeard seeks power, treasure, personal ambition, but not ideological control, chat. Blackbeard does not even challenge freedom itself. He competes within the system. You see why that this is such a nail in the coffin? Let me say that one more time. Blackbeard doesn't even challenge freedom itself, like opposing Luffy or opposing Emu and something like that. He's only competing within the system. And Blackbeard is symbolizing greed and corruption, malice, but not authoritarian oppression. But Emu is, which connects to the core of the story. So don't get me wrong, Blackbeard is thematically significant, but Blackbeard is not the final embodiment of the story's core conflict of freedom versus control. So I'm going to wrap this all up by saying that Emu is certainly the final threat of One Piece. Emu is central to the narrative's core conflict, freedom versus control. Chapter 1084, 1085, Emu revealed knowledge of the will of D. He confronts Cobra. He orders executions. That far exceeds Blackbeard's influence. He's manipulating global politics, not just battles like Emu. Chapter 908, he's orchestrating the events of the Reverie, commanding the elders. Chapter 1060, he's erasing an entire island from existence, literally rewriting history. Leloucia never existed. And again, Whitebeard already warned. He warned us. Blackbeard is not the one Roger waited for. So it's Emu that symbolizes the ultimate oppressive force of secrecy, censorship, and domination. But Blackbeard is just a rival pirate boss. Emu is the ideological final boss. Luffy's dream must be something tied into freedom. I think most people can agree with that. And if it's not Luffy's dream, it's certainly a part of the inner workings of his character. A character deeply what's the phrase I'm looking for? Deeply concerned about people's freedom, right? So Luffy would have to confront Emu, not Blackbeard. So to truly free the world, for Luffy to truly liberate the world instead of one island at a time, Luffy needs to defeat Emu, not Blackbeard. And that's my full take. That's my full answer. We got RBBP. God bless, brother. He said, Commodore Teach invites all of you to Hachinosu. Don't listen to this world government propaganda. Emu will never rule over all. Hail Blackbeard. Hey, Emu's already ruling, man. Can I revoke Smokey's membership? Shout out to L and shout out to RBBP, the both of them for super chats. And they dropped 10 gifted memberships, the both of them. Can we get some W's for the boy RBBP? For the boy L? With both of them dropping super chats and 10 memberships? What absolute legends, bro. What absolute legends. God bless the both of you. Thank you both so much. 10 gifted. And L with the 2. We need new soldiers. Don't we, RBBP? Hey. 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 Listen. I don't need any more ops than I already have. I don't need any more ops, please. I have too many, bro. I have too many. Just last week, I got called a Zionist for saying that Emu is the devil. I don't need another op. Please don't do that to me. No more. No more. Chat, did you know I'm a Zionist? Did you know that? I thought I was the total opposite a month ago. He could make Blackbeard absorb Emu's fruit. Well, you're assuming Emu even has a fruit. What do you do other than YouTube? I mean, job, some stuff. I try to keep my personal life at a minimum on here. I think outside Elbaf, there is an all-out war that is going on while Emu is busy controlling Gunko's body. Blackbeard comes in clutch and takes over Emu. Yeah, so the thing is even if Marijwa is like burning and like going to hell, Emu still needs to retain his secrecy. How does the gifted memberships work? There should be a button in the stream chat for you to enable the permission to receive a gifted membership. It might be like a money sign in like a box or something. Click that and you can make it so you receive gifted memberships. But when you get the gifted memberships, you get a whole bunch of emojis and stuff like that. Again, God bless you, RBBP. God bless you, L. And then God bless you, RBBP again. And God bless you, L again. The both of you. Multiple super chats, multiple gifted members. I greatly appreciate it. Shout out to everyone who got gifted memberships. I actually don't see who got gifted the gifted memberships. Why'd I say it like that? I actually don't see who got gifted memberships, but if you got gifted memberships, you guys need to shout out L and RBBP because they worked for their money. They earned their money. They were sweating bullets, blood, sweat, and tears into their money. You need to thank them. All right. God bless you, Steven. God bless you, Otez. God bless you, Only One. And then OJ with the 1 month. Thank you, brother. God bless, man. He said, wait, I can do that. Shout out to you guys. Shout out to you guys. I'm going to go look at the Discord really quick, guys. We got some memes in the Discord. Once we go through the memes, I'll try to focus back on the chat again, okay? But thank you. God bless you, everyone that's watching the stream. God bless you, Jay. Thank you for the membership. God bless you, the one and only real Blackbeard propagandist, the one and only L. Thank you both for the super chats and memberships. Young Smokey, evil cooked from all of L's memes. Yeah, that's me. That's me just about every stream getting cooked for no reason. I get bullied in my own stream. Why are you laughing at that? RBBP disgusted with the L slander. You should be disgusted with the L slander. I mean, no. You shouldn't be. No. I meant you shouldn't be. You should be proud of the L slander because L deserves all the bullying he receives. Z ha 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 ha. While you take the blame and Smokey donates, they'll be distracted. And I'll withdraw and make a meme come back and I'll use it to negotiate mod status. Z ha ha ha. What do you say, Al? Yo, this Zedeko, God bless you, brother. Get some good sleep, man. Take care. RBBP, what are you on right now? He still won't admit defeat. Who, me? I'm not admitting defeat if I wasn't defeated. Who posted that? Was that RBBP? It was RBBP. I'm not admitting defeat. L needs to admit defeat. RBBP coming back with the new memes after the chat turned on L. Really? I have to take the hit for Smokey? You know what? I'll gladly take the hit for my boy Smokey. Hey, Smokey, if you watch this VOD, salute to you, brother. Salute to you, Smokey. I'll take the hit. I'll absorb the blow. The streams are back, eh? It's good to be back, Evil. Hey, it's good to be back, chat. It's good to be back. We got the intro. We got the outro. We got this. We got the soundboard. It's good to be back. This one's for saying L can't read. Bro, L literally said it himself. L literally admitted to not being able to read. So why is it a problem if we just repeat what he said? Your new meme master is here, Evil. Admit defeat and the meme war is over. No, L already backed down. The meme war ended. L, you didn't. Whoa, I'm actually not even trolling. RBBP, I don't think you realized L was the leader of, I'm going to call them the Axis. He was the leader of the Axis. Right, I was the allies. He was the Axis, and he admitted defeat. He actually submitted. This was a few days ago. L, you better not be a liar. Tell RBBP right now that you actually conceded in the meme war. I don't have to back down. L admitted he lost. So what we need to do, real Blackbeard propagandist, is we're gonna have another meme war. I want everyone to spend a few months gathering new members. We need to make 2 teams again. We need people to gather members for Team A and Team B over the next few months to prepare. And then during those few months preparing, also make a bunch of memes. I'm going to give you guys time to load up on ammo, load up on ammunition, load up on resources and food supplies because we need to outdo ourselves in the next meme war. L, you can't say it's a front, bro. You can't do it. Don't. You're such a capper. You are a dirty, good for nothing capper, L. You can't say, "Oh, it was a front." Bro, you admitted defeat. It's over. You lost War 1. Get ready for War 2. War will never end. Hey, war never changes. War. It never changes. It'll always be the same. Exactly. Yo, Vincent, go find it. Go expose that heretic. Go, bro. To him that says that he conceded and surrendered in the meme war and changes his mind in the next stream, let him be anathema. L, you already conceded. You already admitted you surrendered. Stop the cap. God bless you. Thank you for the super chat. But stop the cap. I wasn't here for it. Fake news. It's not fake news. Yo, someone go find the clip. Go send him. He said, "Don't forget I'm a hypocrite." Bro is willing to. You're willing to cut off your own nose to spite my face. Really? You're gonna call yourself a hypocrite just so you could say that you didn't actually surrender? L, I thought you were better than that. I thought you were a man. I thought you were a man of your word. I guess I was wrong. Thank you for the super chats. God bless you, L. You're a legend amongst men, but I'm disappointed. I'm sincerely disappointed. I don't know how you could surrender and then change your mind and you called yourself a hypocrite. Really? L, that's an all-time low, and that's saying something because your lows are pretty low. I mean, all right, guys. Listen, chat. We're going to wrap this up here in a few minutes. We've been live for 1 hour and 49 minutes, almost 2 hours. It is it's about to be midnight, okay? So this is what we're going to do, guys. This is what we're going to do. You guys are going to drop a like on the stream right now because it's free. You guys want to support the community. You guys want to support me. You guys want to grow the channel. You're going to drop a like on the stream. You're going to make sure you're subscribed. And you're going to make sure you hit the notification bell so that you don't miss future streams. If you guys have any more questions, comments, theories, concerns, anything you want to let out in the chat before we end, now is the time, guys. We have 31 likes. Let's hit 50 likes. 19 more likes will hit 50, guys. Everyone drop a like. Let's hit 50 likes. We can do it. If everyone just stops being lazy and we all pitch in, it's going to add up. Every single one will add up. It'll count. Guys, in case you didn't hear on my Discord server, or in case you didn't hear earlier in the stream, 1, we have the soundboard back. 2, we have the intro and outro back. We're going to play the outro when we end the stream, so don't leave yet. 3, I'm looking for YouTube mods that can watch the streams and use the button on YouTube that says make a clip or create a clip. I need to create clips from my streams to turn into videos. And 4th, we're having a stream next week during the break week that's going to be an open mic stream. Everyone is available and free to join. You guys can ask me a question about whatever. You guys can share your theory. You guys can share a hot take. You guys can talk to me on stream, live on stream. You guys can be on stream. The way you do it is very simple. Go to the description of the stream. Go to the video description right now. And if you look at the bottom of the stream description, you're going to see a specific link to StreamYard. Sign up to StreamYard. It's completely free. Sign up to StreamYard through your Gmail to make an account. It only takes 10 seconds. It's completely free. Then what we're going to do is when we have the open mic stream, you guys hop into the StreamYard link, and then you're able to talk to me on stream live, okay? You guys don't need a camera. I would prefer if you guys use the camera. You know, it's a bit more exciting. You know, it's a bit more personal. You know, there's a bit more life to it. But if you guys don't want to use cameras, that's fine. That's okay. Just at least have a mic. All right, because that's how we're going to do it. You guys need a microphone if you want to be on the open mic stream, okay? But is there any more questions, comments, or concerns? Melford, do exclamation mark inactive. And also, with this idea of taking segments from streams and converting it to videos, that's essentially a video, right? Yeah, like, yeah, maybe it's not like some crazy high-def camera and microphone and like crazy editing, but at least you guys are hearing a theory with proper panels and reasoning and stuff like that. In fact, I would argue that I've been trying to make my argumentation with theories even better and sharper using things like the scholastic method, which I did not use in the past. RBBP says, we doubled down. I missed the stream setup. Just set up an Xmas tree, dim the lights, we Gucci. You guys really missed the Christmas tree? Because some people harassed me saying that, oh, you never take down your tree. Bro, it's literally March and you still have your tree up? You should have took down your tree. It's literally March. You're supposed to have the Christmas tree for Christmas, not March. You guys missed the tree? Really? All right, guys. Any more questions, comments, and concerns before we run the outro and we say goodbye, guys? Any more? I didn't retire. I'm still dropping theories on Twitter, and I'm still cooking theories on YouTube, stream chat live. All right. I've just been very busy, and I don't have my proper equipment yet. All right. Guys, I think this is where we're going to wrap it up, okay? We're going to play our outro. We're going to get everyone to spam W in the chat, and you guys are going to come back when the chapter drops. We're going to do a TCV chapter reaction or OP scans, whichever one drops first. We're going to do an official English 1151 reaction stream on Sunday. Then we're going to have an open mic stream during the break week. All right. Shout out chat. God bless you all. Hail Mary, full of grace. The Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou among women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners, now and at the hour of our death. Enjoy the outro, guys.
人々を海へ駆り立てた